Hey, Planeteers, welcome back to the Weekly Stack. I'm recording this on the evening of Wednesday, June 3rd, which meant it was New Comic Book Day, and I did get new comic books, but I'm going to talk about a couple of books from last week as well as new books this week. So, first of all, though, I do want to call out that this week, I think, officially marks the 35th anniversary of the Disney adaptation of The Rocketeer. My wife and I went to a screening at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. That's the one owned by Disney Studios. And we had a great time. So, what's that have to do with comics? Aside from The Rocketeer as a great comic book character? Let you know. So I'll call it out. Last week saw the third issue of The Rocketeer, The Island come out from IDW and written by John Layman and art by Jacob Edgar with inks by KJ Diaz, and Nicholas Nino is the letterer. And I want to call it out because it is carrying on the magic of The Rocketeer. And it also, because of who's entered the public domain, involves Popeye, the Sailor Man, Don Don, sometimes Americans call him Tintin, and Kong. So obviously, because he's right there on the cover, right? Kong. Also, Amelia Earhart. So this book has been a lot of fun, kind of somewhere in between the little slight raciness of Dave Stevens' original and the family fun of the Disney movie. Boom, together. And so my heart is full with The Rocketeer this week and love that. And if you are interested in seeing another pulp hero rescue Amelia Earhart or solve the mystery of her disappearance, of course, a few years ago, Dynamite did Doc Savage, Ring of Fire, covering some of the same territory. Though I don't remember King Kong being in there. Oops, I'm sorry. He's just Kong because I think Universal still owns the King part. So that was one I absolutely recommend and hope you have fun with it. Also going to call out because, good Lord, from last week, this is beautiful. Tom Mandrake is taking over for Mike Zulli in this Swamp Thing 1989, which is actually called issue 89. That's nice, but it's called Swamp Thing 1989 because it was originally supposed to come out in 1989. And perhaps you know this, there was controversy. I talked about it about a month ago. Tom Mandrake and Trish Mulvihill on colors. And I do want to say that the odd thing here is that if you look in the catalog, it says Swamp Thing 1989. That's in the DC Direct or DC Connect, whatever they call it. I just send my order in online to a House of Secrets. Hey, I forgot to tout House of Secrets in Burbank, California. That's where I get my comics. And then I kind of go over some that I really love. But anyway, though it's called Swamp Thing 1989 in the catalog, it's not called Swamp Thing 1989 on the cover. This is really just what should have been Swamp Thing 89. This is a fun book. It was controversial because it involved Jesus. And that was canceled because people freaked out, and now I guess people don't care. But what I really wanted to call attention to is because it begins with villainy from the old Adam villain, Kronos. And what it reminded me was, my God, I loved the semi-heroic guy that took on the mantle of Kronos a few years later. And I can't remember what happened to him. So maybe if someone could write in or comment on the YouTube channel, whatever, tell me what happened to that Kronos. Because it was a cool character. I think a 9-issue miniseries. Ambush Bug was there in the bar outside of town, outside of time, the bar outside of town. I don't know what bar that is, but I'm sure there's plenty outside of town. So I'm going to go to this week, or actually, I am. And then I'm going to bounce back to last week. And again, depending on distribution, maybe these two books I just called out are this week for you. I don't know. Anyway, this I picked up on a whim. I did not pre-order this. And I kind of think I should have. I don't know. I should have trusted in Gail Simone. This is The Ring, The Man Who Beat the Man, #1 from Dark Horse Comics. not The Ring as in the movie that scared the crap out of us about 20, 25 years ago. This is Gail Simone, Elisa Ramboli on art, and Yolanda Zanardino, I guess, on letterers. And I'm sorry, I'm not wearing my reading glasses, so I apologize that I'm going to get that wrong. But I do like this book. It is actually done in conjunction with the website The Ring, that is about boxing. And I used to briefly be a boxing fan about 1999, 2000. And I think I kind of stopped when Mike Tyson bit off Evander Holyfield's ear. I think that's a reasonable place to stop, don't you? Anyway, so I know just enough about boxing to find this a very credible narrative. And I should have, like I said, I should have trusted Gail Simone, because Gail Simone, of course, if she's written a bad comic, gotta say it again, if she's written a bad comic, I haven't seen it. It's always interesting, and I appreciate actually following a great writer into a genre that I would not ordinarily pick up. A sports comic? Well, I think it's high time for sports comics to make a comeback, just like the King in this. Anyway, so that's a fun book. So I'll probably be following up with that. This I was hoping would be great. I think it is. The Deadman, because, if you're going to reboot something in 2026 after a long time series, called Deadman, you got to put the in front so people know that it's not the same as the old one. This is, again, by the team that did the Ice Cream Man, or do the Ice Cream Man from Image Comics. This is the Deadman, part of the Next Level at DC, revamping Boston brand Deadman. And so, by the way, if you don't know who that team is, it's Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazzo with Chris O'Halloran. And so it's completely recontextualizing, not revamping, recontextualizing Deadman and his role. Though he introduces himself in this book as the Deadman, it gives him the beginnings of, I think, a rogues gallery, which is something that the character on his own has never had. Or again, I will say, if I'm wrong and I somehow missed where somebody put one in, please correct me. I'm fine with that. I'm 60. I don't remember everything, all the details of what I've read, but I'm doing pretty good. Anyway, so there, the Deadman, very fun and very interesting in what he does now. So he's not just a superhero in the more classic sense. And as a superhero, it's always been a little awkward that his power is possession, but not giving the people he possesses superpowers, maybe just his reflexes, his instincts. But he actually serves as well to be sort of a psychopomp, although they don't use that word, but to help the recently passed or the about to pass into the next phase of existence. And I think that's a very cool role for him, and especially an evolution, as had been established in the original series when Deadman caught his killer essentially, and he didn't know what to do. And so it's a chance to right the wrongs, etc. That was very dramatic for the early 70s. Cool. But in 2026, there's got to be more to it. And people have tried different things, and I've always enjoyed stories with Deadman. I just like this placement in this universe, if you will, for DC. It's cool. And I hope this is meant to be more than a miniseries. I'm never sure, but that is the reality of both DC and Marvel these days. Try it out with the miniseries, maybe extend a little bit, but 12 issues out. And I also want to call attention to this. I haven't actually read it yet, but I did pick it up because last year, somebody I work with asked me if I had read any of Dungeon Crawler Carl, the novels by Matt Dinniman, and I had not at that time. And then at Comic-Con, I got invited to meet Matt Dinniman and interview him at Comic-Con. And so I got the audiobook, which is admittedly funny, entertaining, incredible job there. And I'm sorry that I am absolutely blanking on the name of the voice actor, who is fantastic. But I get a lot more of the jokes on t-shirts at conventions now because this has been viral. And I know that this graphic novel, okay, I am putting my my glasses on because there are details to this that I was told at oh my god, it's the second printing. Oh well, I'm good with that. I just want to read it. That I was told at House of Secrets that this was not available in the main catalog, so people might have missed out on it, and that's why I'm calling it out. There is going to be a comic called Dungeon Crawler Carl Crocodile. I'm not even sure what you would say. Oh, Vault Comics is putting this out, so that's interesting. But it's a pretty solid book. It is the first 13 chapters of the hit webtoon series. There you go. That's why it's a second printing, because it's been on webtoon, and I admit I don't get into webtoon as often as I should. So Matt Dinniman is the creator, of course. Tevaga is the writer. Laurel Pursuit is on their cover and lead art. Kuzumari, colors Ludwig, letters Ali Zuglul. I don't know what the difference between artist and lead artist would be on this, but okay. Line Rat, Huashuan, and background rat. Oh no, it's art. So line art and background art. And okay, so it takes a village for this. And so, if you have not encountered Dungeon Crawler Carl as a franchise, this is worth the effort. Again, haven't dived into the graphic novel yet, but again, as I've been enjoying the audiobook, and what I was told is Seth MacFarlane is adapting this to television. So it's no wonder, at House of Secrets, they said, oh, it's because of the television show. And I'm like going, House of Secrets doesn't really carry novels. And I'm saying, I beg to differ, sir. Bookstores can't keep these hardcover, those are pricey hardcovers of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series in stock. And people are buying the books and reading along with listening to the audiobooks from Audible. And so there you go. There you go. Jump in. So, I'm going to take off my glasses now and pretend that I'm not farsighted now, which is still exciting. I said years of being nearsighted and get cataract surgery, and suddenly I have 20/20 vision, but that means that I have to wear glasses to read. I call it a fair trade. Hope you get down to the comic shop. And if you've got found something that you wanted to read, that you think I should maybe check out, please, by all means, let me know. Again, editor@fanboyplanet.com. You can put a comment on Fanboy Planet under this page, or on the YouTube page if you're watching directly on YouTube. So, thank you very much for coming along with me so far. I'm pretty energetic tonight. I had a massive work thing that kind of derailed me for a couple of weeks, but I feel a spring in my step again, just in time for summer. Anyway, that's how it works. So, thank you. And as always, use your powers for good.